divinely orchestrated change is at your very doorstep. But oh, how many of you resist change? How many cling to the familiar, even when the familiar has become a prison of limitation? I tell you now, as I have told countless others, that resistance to divine change is resistance to your own good. The number 5 comes as a loving but firm message from your higher self. Release your grip on what was, and prepare to receive what is meant to be. You see, my dear ones, we live in a universe of perfect law and order. Every effect has its cause, and every cause produces its inevitable effect. When 555 appears in your experience, it is the effect of your prayers, your desires, your spiritual work finally reaching critical mass in the invisible realm. The very appearance of this number sequence is proof that your demonstrations are already prepared in the divine mind, waiting only for your conscious acceptance to manifest in the physical plane. Many of you have been feeling restless lately, have you not? There has been a stirring in your soul, a sense that something magnificent is trying to birth itself through you. This is not your imagination. This is your divine intuition, responding to the preparatory work being done by the infinite intelligence on your behalf. The number 555 confirms that these feelings are not mere wishful thinking, but accurate spiritual perception of changes already set in motion by divine law. I want you to understand something of utmost importance. The universe operates through perfect timing, not your timing, not the timing your human mind thinks it wants, but divine timing, which is always perfect, always exactly when you are ready to receive your good. When 555 appears, it is the universe's way of saying, your hour has come, your moment of breakthrough is here. Now, I must speak to you about fear, for I know that change, even divinely ordained change, can awaken the fearful thoughts of the human mind. Fear is simply faith in the wrong thing, faith in lack instead of abundance, faith in limitation instead of expansion, faith in the past instead of the glorious future that awaits you. When you see 555, you must make a conscious choice to place your faith where it belongs, in the goodness of God and the perfect outworking of divine law in your life. The old patterns, the old situations, the old ways of being that no longer serve your highest good, these must be released with joy and gratitude. Not with regret, not with clinging, but with the deep knowing that what is leaving your life is making space for something far more wonderful to enter. This is the spiritual law of circulation. The old must go out to make room for the new to come in. I have seen this law work countless times in my own life and in the lives of those I have counseled. A woman who had been in an unsatisfying position for years began seeing 555 everywhere. Within weeks, she was offered a position that seemed almost too good to be true. But it was not too good. It was simply good enough for one who had finally aligned her consciousness with her divine inheritance. A man who had been struggling with financial limitation started noticing 555 repeatedly. Soon after, an unexpected business opportunity presented itself, one that multiplied his income many times over. These are not miracles in the sense of supernatural interventions. They are the natural outworking of spiritual law when we cooperate with the divine plan for our lives. The number 555 is the universe's way of announcing that such demonstrations are now possible for you. But mark this well. The universe requires your cooperation. You cannot remain passive and expect change to happen around you. No, the spiritual law demands that you prepare yourself in consciousness and then take the inspired action that will be given to you. When you see 555, you must ask yourself, what is the divine intelligence guiding me to do? What step am I being called to take? Often, the guidance will come as an intuitive knowing, a sudden idea, an unexpected invitation, a door that opens seemingly out of nowhere. These are not coincidences, they are the precise and perfect ways in which the infinite intelligence orchestrates your good. Your job is to recognize these opportunities and have the courage to act upon them. Let me share with you the spiritual treatment I give when 555 appears in someone's life. I recognize that the appearance of 555 in my experience is divine communication. I know that infinite intelligence is preparing perfect changes in my life. I release all resistance to my good. I let go of everything that no longer serves my highest purpose. I prepare my consciousness to receive the new opportunities, relationships, and experiences that are being divinely prepared for me. I trust the perfect timing of the universe. I know that what is meant for me cannot be delayed, and what is not meant for me cannot remain. I walk forward in faith, knowing that every step is divinely guided, and every change brings me closer to my perfect place of expression. I am ready to receive my good. I am ready for my expansion. I am ready for my breakthrough. And it is so. You must understand that spiritual law is as precise as mathematical law. When conditions are right, the result is inevitable. The appearance of 555 tells you that conditions are now right for your advancement. The only variable is your willingness to cooperate with the divine plan. Some of you may be wondering why this number sequence has such power. Let me explain to you the deeper spiritual principles at work. In metaphysical science, repetition amplifies energy. When a number appears once, it carries its individual meaning. When it appears twice, that meaning is emphasized. But when it appears 3 times, as in 555, it creates what we call a trinity of power, a complete spiritual circuit that activates the law of manifestation in your experience. The number 5 itself represents the human being who has awakened to their divine nature. We have 5 senses through which we experience the physical world, 5 fingers with which we grasp our good, 5 points on the star that represents illuminated humanity. When this number appears in triplicate, it signifies that you are ready to move from merely hoping for your good to actually grasping it, from dreaming about your desires to living them. I must also speak to you about the importance of recognition. Many divine communications go unnoticed because people are not trained to perceive the subtle ways in which the universe speaks. But you who have been seeing 555, you have developed the spiritual sensitivity to recognize divine guidance when it appears. This itself is a demonstration of your spiritual advancement. The very fact that you notice these numbers proves that your consciousness has been elevated to a level where you can receive higher guidance. Now, I want to address the practical aspect of this divine communication. When 555 appears in your life, you must become very attentive to the ideas that come to you, the people who enter your experience, the opportunities that present themselves. The universe will use every available channel to deliver your good to you, but you must be alert and responsive. Perhaps you will receive an unexpected phone call that opens a new door. Perhaps someone will mention an opportunity that immediately resonates with your heart. Perhaps you will have a sudden inspiration to take a course, to make a call, to visit a certain place. These are not random impulses, they are the precise movements of divine intelligence orchestrating your breakthrough. The mistake many people make is in trying to figure out how their good will come. They limit the universe by their human reasoning, thinking their change must come through the channels they can see and understand. But the universe has infinite ways of bringing your good to you, and 555 is often the precursor to demonstrations that exceed your human imagination. I remember a woman who came to me years ago, desperate about her financial situation. She had been seeing 555 for weeks, but couldn't understand what it meant. I explained to her what I'm explaining to you now, and I gave her this affirmation: I trust the universe to provide for me in ways that exceed my human understanding. I am open to receive my good from expected and unexpected sources. Within a month, she inherited property from a distant relative. She had never even met property that solved all her financial concerns. The universe had been preparing this demonstration while she worried about how her bills would be paid. This is why 555 is such a powerful sign. It announces that the universe is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see, preparing solutions to challenges you may not even know how to solve. Your part is to maintain faith, to stay positive in your outlook, and to remain alert for the guidance that will surely come. But let me warn you about something. Do not make the mistake of trying to force the timing. When you see 555, it means the universe is ready, but you must still allow the perfect unfoldment to occur. Forcing and pushing often delay our demonstrations because they are based on anxiety rather than faith. The number 555 calls you to confident expectation, not anxious manipulation. I have noticed that people often see 555 5. During what I call the dark night of the soul, those periods when everything seems stuck, when progress seems impossible, when hope itself seems foolish. If this describes your current experience, let me tell you with absolute certainty, you are closer to your breakthrough than you think. The darkest hour is indeed just before the dawn, and 555 is the first light on the horizon of your new day. The universe has been observing your faithfulness during this difficult period. It has seen your persistence, your continued prayers, your refusal to give up entirely despite the challenges. The appearance of 555 is cosmic recognition of your spiritual endurance. You have passed the test, and now the reward is at hand. But here is something else you must understand. The change that 555 announces may not look like what you expected. The universe always gives us what we need, but it may not give us what we think we want. This is because the infinite intelligence sees the larger picture, knows the divine plan for our lives in ways our limited human perspective cannot comprehend. You may have been praying for one thing, but the 5th of May, herald the arrival of something even better. You may have been focused on changing a particular situation, but the universe may be preparing to remove you from that situation entirely and place you somewhere far more wonderful. This is why we must approach the message of 555 with an open mind and a trusting heart. The spiritual law that governs 555 is the law of circulation. Just as water must flow to remain fresh, so must the circumstances of our lives continue to move and change for us to experience growth and expansion. Stagnation is not the natural state of the universe. Movement, progress, and evolution are. When 555 appears, it signals that the divine law of circulation is about to express itself powerfully in your experience. Some of you may be concerned about what you will need to release to make room for the new. Let me assure you, the universe never takes away anything that serves your highest good. What is removed from your life when 555 energy is active is only that which has been holding you back, keeping you small, or preventing you from stepping into your full power and purpose. Perhaps it is a job that no longer challenges you or allows you to express your gifts. Perhaps it is a relationship that has become based on habit rather than genuine connection. Perhaps it is a living situation that no longer reflects who you are becoming. Whatever it is, trust that its departure is making space for something infinitely better. I want to speak now about the emotional preparation that 555 calls for. Change, even positive change, can stir up feelings of uncertainty. This is natural and normal, but I teach you to meet these feelings with spiritual understanding rather than emotional reaction. When uncertainty arises, declare, I know that the universe is preparing perfect changes in my life. I trust the divine timing and the divine plan. All things work together for my good. Remember, the universe does not make mistakes. Every person who enters your life, every experience you have, every challenge you face, has been perfectly orchestrated to prepare you for this moment of transition that 555 announces. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been in vain. All has been divine preparation for what is about to unfold. The number 555 also carries within it the promise of freedom. Freedom from limitation, freedom from lack, freedom from anything that has bound you in consciousness. This is not just material freedom, though material improvements may certainly be part of your demonstration. This is spiritual freedom, the awakening to your true nature as a divine being having a human experience. When this awakening occurs, when you truly understand who you are and what you are capable of, the entire world looks different. Opportunities that were invisible before become obvious. Resources that seemed unavailable suddenly become accessible. People who can help you seem to appear from nowhere. This is not magic, this is the natural result of consciousness change. As you move forward from this point, knowing what 555 means in your life, I want you to practice what I call expectant gratitude. Be grateful not only for what you have already received, but for what you know is on its way to you. This attitude of expectant gratitude accelerates the manifestation of your good because it aligns your emotional energy with the reality that is already prepared for you in the divine mind. Every morning when you wake, say to yourself, "This is the day the Lord hath made, and it may be the day my 555 breakthrough manifests. I am ready to receive my good. I am prepared for positive change. I welcome the expansion that the universe has prepared for me." And every evening before you sleep, give thanks for the progress that has been made, even if you cannot see it with your physical eyes. Thank the universe for working on your behalf, for orchestrating events, for preparing the perfect timing of your breakthrough. This practice of gratitude creates a magnetic field around you that draws your good to you with irresistible force. Let me be clear about something else. 5 is not a sign to sit back and wait for things to happen to you. It is a sign to prepare yourself to cooperate with the divine activity that is already in motion. Begin now to clear out the old to make room for the new. Clean your physical space, organize your affairs, update your resume, research new possibilities. These practical actions demonstrate to the universe that you are ready to receive what is being prepared for you. The universe responds to our faith, but it also responds to our works. Faith without works is dead, as the scripture tells us. When you see 555, let it inspire both trust and action, both faith and preparation. The universe will do its part, but you must do yours. I also want you to pay careful attention to your words during this time of transition. Words are things, as I have always taught, and they have tremendous creative power. During the 555 period, your words carry even more weight because you are in a heightened state of spiritual receptivity. Speak only of the good you wish to see manifested. Declare your readiness for positive change. Affirm your trust in divine timing. Your words are prayers, and prayers spoken during this time of divine communication have special power. Here is an affirmation I want you to use whenever you see 555. I recognize this as divine communication. I know that perfect changes are taking place in my life right now. I release all fear and embrace all good. I am ready for my expansion. I am ready for my breakthrough. I am ready for my demonstration of abundance and joy. The universe is my source, and my supply is inexhaustible. I move forward in faith, knowing that every step is divinely guided, and every change brings me closer to my perfect good. Repeat this affirmation with feeling, with conviction, with absolute trust in its truth. The power is not in the words themselves, but in your consciousness behind the words. When you speak with faith, you set in motion the spiritual forces that bring about manifestation. The beauty of 555 is that it promises not just any change, but change that is perfectly aligned with your highest good and your soul's purpose. This is not random upheaval, but divinely intelligent reorganization of your life circumstances to better reflect who you are becoming spiritually. Some of you may wonder, why now? Why this particular time in your life? The answer is simple. Because now you are ready. The universe never gives us more than we can handle, and it never gives us our good before we have developed the consciousness to maintain it. The appearance of 555 in your experience is proof that you have reached a new level of spiritual maturity, a new capacity to handle greater responsibilities and greater blessings. Trust the process, beloved ones. Trust that everything happening in your life right now, including the appearance of this sacred number sequence, is part of a perfect divine plan. Your job is not to understand every detail of how things will work out, but to maintain faith that they will work out for your highest good. The universe is infinitely creative in the ways it can improve your life. Be open to possibilities you have never considered. Be willing to receive your good in forms you may not have imagined. The limitations are not in the universe, they are only in our human thinking. When 555 appears, it is time to expand your thinking, to enlarge your expectations, to prepare for demonstrations that may surprise and delight you. Remember this always. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are not a victim of conditions. You are a divine being, created in the image and likeness of the infinite, endowed with creative power and unlimited potential. The number 555 is simply the universe reminding you of who you really are and what you are truly capable of achieving. So, watch for the signs, listen for the guidance, and be ready to act when the way is shown to you. Your breakthrough is not a distant possibility. It is an imminent reality. The universe has spoken through the sacred sequence of 555, and what the universe has declared, no power on earth can deny. Go forward now, with confidence, with joy, with absolute certainty that your good is manifesting in perfect ways, at the perfect time. The universe is on your side, your angels are working on your behalf, and your greatest demonstrations are yet to come. This I know, and this I declare, and by the power of the spoken word and the law of faith, so it shall be, making polite conversation while secretly judging everything they do. But your body, my dear, is not your enemy. It's your oldest, most faithful companion, and it's been trying to work with you all along. The real challenge isn't that your affirmations aren't working. Oh no, they're working beautifully, but they're working on the wrong frequency. It's like trying to tune into your favorite radio station while the dial is set to static. You're broadcasting, "I am radiantly healthy," while your subconscious is running a 24-hour news program featuring every ache, pain, and worry you've ever entertained about your physical form. You see, the mind is the most obedient servant you'll ever encounter, but it's also quite literal. If you spend your days thinking about what's wrong with your body, cataloging every symptom, every sign of aging, every indication that you're not the specimen of perfection you think you should be, well, that's exactly what your faithful mind will continue to manifest for you. It's not being rebellious, it's being helpful in the most misguided way possible. But here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. Your body is constantly renewing itself. Every single cell is participating in this magnificent dance of regeneration. Scientists tell us that we get an entirely new body every 7 to 10 years. Isn't that remarkable? You are literally not the same person you were a decade ago, right down to your very atoms. Yet somehow, we carry forward the same old stories about our limitations, our weaknesses, our inevitable decline. Now, let me share with you what I call the 4 pillars of radiant health affirmation. And I promise you, it's simpler than you think. First, we must make friends with our body again. Start each morning by placing your hand on your heart and saying, "Good morning, dear body. Thank you for all the ways you served me today." Notice I didn't say, "Thank you for being perfect," or "Thank you for looking exactly how I want you to look." Just simple gratitude for service. Your heart beats without your conscious effort. Your lungs breathe. Your digestive system processes your food. These are miracles happening every moment, and acknowledging them shifts everything. Second, we replace the critic with the cheerleader. Every time you catch yourself cataloging what's wrong, immediately counter with what's working. Oh, your knee aches? I give thanks that my legs carry me wherever I need to go. Feeling tired? I give thanks that my body knows exactly how to restore itself. This isn't denial, darling. It's redirection of your precious attention toward what serves you. Third, we treat our body like our dearest friend. Would you feed your best friend nothing but junk and expect them to feel wonderful? Would you keep your dearest companion up all night and then wonder why they're cranky the next day? Start making choices from love, not from guilt or punishment. Ask yourself, what would make my body feel cherished today? Sometimes it's a nourishing meal. Sometimes it's gentle movement. Sometimes it's rest. And fourth, we release the timeline. Oh, this is where most people trip themselves up. They affirm perfect health for a week and then check their reflection like they're inspecting a cake in the oven. Is it done yet? Why don't I look different? Why do I still have this headache? Healing unfolds in its own perfect timing, and your job is simply to maintain the vision and trust the process. Now, let me give you the most powerful health affirmation I know, and I want you to say it with me right now, with feeling. I give thanks for my radiant health. My body is a temple of the living spirit, and every cell vibrates with perfect life and energy. Feel that? That little shift in your chest? That's your body saying, finally someone who gets it. But here's the secret sauce that nobody talks about. You must say this affirmation as if it's already true, not as if you're trying to make it true. There's a world of difference between desperate hoping and confident knowing. When you declare your radiant health, you're not trying to convince the universe of anything. You're simply aligning yourself with what is already your divine birthright. I had a student once who came to me feeling absolutely defeated. She'd been battling various health challenges for years, trying every diet, every exercise program, every supplement under the sundae. "Nothing works for me," she said. I asked her to try something radical for just 1 month. Instead of focusing on what needed to be fixed, I asked her to spend 5 minutes each morning appreciating what was working perfectly in her body. She thought I'd lost my marbles, but she agreed to try it. She started with simple things. "I give thanks that my eyes can see this beautiful sunrise. I give thanks that my hands can feel the warmth of this coffee cup. I give thanks that my mind can think these thoughts." Within 2 weeks, she noticed her energy shifting. Within a month, she was sleeping better, feeling stronger, and most remarkably, she'd stopped obsessing about all her symptoms. She hadn't become a different person. She'd simply started paying attention to the wellness that was already there. Here's what I want you to do right now, before you do anything else. I want you to place both hands somewhere on your body and close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths and simply notice what's working beautifully in your physical form right this moment. Maybe it's your steady heartbeat. Maybe it's the miracle of your breathing. Maybe it's the way your body maintains its perfect temperature without any conscious effort from you. Just notice and appreciate one thing. That's it. That's your first step toward radiant health. The beautiful truth is that your body wants to be healthy. It's designed for wellness, programmed for vitality, and constantly working toward balance. When you align your thoughts and words with this natural tendency, instead of fighting against it, you become a cooperative partner in your own healing instead of an anxious supervisor constantly checking up on the progress. Remember, darling, every word you speak about your body is a prayer. Every thought you think about your health is an instruction to the universe. Make them count. Make them loving. Make them powerful. I want you to try something for the next 7 days. Every single morning, before you check your phone, before you look in the mirror with that critical eye, before you inventory what hurts or what's wrong, I want you to put your hand on your heart and say, "I give thanks for my radiant health. My body is strong, vital, and perfectly designed for wellness." Say it like you mean it. Say it like it's the most obvious truth in the world. And here's your homework, because I do love giving homework. I want you to catch yourself every time you're about to complain about your body or focus on what's not working, and instead immediately state one thing you're grateful for about your physical form. Don't just think it. Say it out loud. Your ears need to hear it. Your heart needs to feel it. And your cells need to receive the message. If this resonates with you, if something inside you just lit up and said, "Yes, this makes sense," then I need you to share this message with someone who needs to hear it. We're all walking around carrying these heavy burdens of physical worry and limitation when we could be dancing through life in radiant wellness. Let's start a revolution of health appreciation, shall we? Drop a comment below and tell me one thing you're grateful for about your body right now. I don't care if it's small. I don't care if it seems insignificant. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And I want to celebrate your body's magnificence with you, because that's what we do in this beautiful community of ours. Your radiant health is not a distant dream, my dear friend. It's your natural state, your divine inheritance, and it's available to you right now. All you have to do is claim it, appreciate it, and trust in the perfect wisdom of your beautiful body. Now go forth and be the radiant, healthy being you were always meant to be. At the subatomic level, particles exist in a state of infinite possibility until they're observed. Your consciousness literally collapses potential into reality. Now, I'm not going to get too scientific on you, but here's what this means for your wealth. Your external reality, including your financial situation, is a direct reflection of your internal state. Not your wishes, not your hopes, but your actual energetic frequency and belief system. Most people are walking around with what I call a scarcity operating system. It's running in the background like malware on a computer, constantly scanning for danger, focusing on what's missing, afraid of losing what little they have. This operating system was probably installed in childhood. Maybe you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, or watching your parents stress about finances. These programs run so deep that you don't even notice them anymore. They're just how you see the world. And here's the brutal truth. You cannot attract wealth while running a scarcity operating system. It's like trying to access the internet with a computer from 1995. The technology doesn't match the task. So what's the one action that unlocks unlimited wealth? It's this. You have to become energetically abundant before you become financially abundant. You have to embody wealth internally before it can manifest externally. I know that might sound a little woo-woo, but stay with me because this is where it gets practical. When I say embody abundance, I'm not talking about pretending you're rich when you're not, or doing toxic positivity while your life falls apart. I'm talking about fundamentally shifting how you relate to the universe and to the flow of resources through your life. Let me give you a framework that makes this crystal clear. Think of the universe as an infinite ocean of abundance. Everything you could ever want or need already exists in this ocean. Money, opportunities, resources, connections, ideas, all of it. Now, most people approach this ocean with a tiny cup, and they're desperately trying to scoop out what they need. They're anxious, grabbing, hoarding that little bit of water in their cup because they don't trust there's more. But wealthy people, truly abundant people, they approach the ocean differently. They don't come with a cup. They dive in. They swim in it. They understand they're part of the ocean itself. They give freely because they know there's always more. They invest boldly because they trust in the flow. They see opportunities everywhere because they're not operating from fear. Here's where this gets really practical. The one action that unlocks unlimited wealth is learning to give from your overflow before you feel like you have overflow. I know that sounds counterintuitive. You're probably thinking, wait, I'm struggling financially, and you want me to give money away. Hear me out. This isn't about being irresponsible or giving when you genuinely can't. This is about breaking the energetic pattern of scarcity. When you give, even small amounts, when you tip generously, when you donate, when you share your resources, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind and to the universe. You're saying, I have more than enough. I trust the flow. I am abundant. Science backs this up, by the way. There are studies showing that people who give to charity actually feel wealthier, regardless of their actual income level. That feeling of wealth, that sense of abundance, literally rewires your brain. It opens you up to see opportunities you were blind to before. It changes how you show up in conversations. It affects the risks you're willing to take. Your energy shifts, and people can feel it. And wealth flows toward that energy. So let me give you the exact steps to implement this starting today. First, I want you to give something away this week. It doesn't have to be money, although money is powerful because we have so much emotional charge around it. Give away something you value. Maybe it's $20 to someone in need. Maybe it's your time helping someone with a skill you have. Maybe it's buying lunch for a friend or leaving an unexpectedly generous tip. The key is that it has to feel slightly uncomfortable. If it's easy and you don't feel it, you're not breaking the pattern. You want to feel that little voice that says, but what if I need this? And do it anyway. That's you overriding the scarcity programming. Second, I want you to practice receiving. This is huge, and most people are terrible at it. When someone offers to pay for your coffee, say thank you and receive it. Don't immediately try to pay them back or minimize it. When someone compliments you, don't deflect. Say thank you. When opportunities come your way, say yes before your logical mind talks you out of it. Receiving is the other half of the abundance cycle. You can't have flow with only giving. You have to be able to receive with an open heart. Third, audit your money conversations. Pay attention to how you talk about money, both out loud and in your head. Every time you say, I can't afford that, you're reinforcing scarcity. Instead, try, I'm choosing to allocate my resources differently right now. See the difference? One is victim energy. The other is empowered choice. When bills come, instead of saying, ugh, more bills, try, I'm grateful I have services and resources to pay for. I know it sounds simple, but language shapes reality. You're literally training your brain to see abundance instead of lack. Fourth, start a gratitude practice, specifically around money. Every single day, I want you to acknowledge 3 things you're grateful for related to abundance. Maybe it's that you have a roof over your head. Maybe it's that you got a free coffee today. Maybe it's that your body works and you have the ability to create value in the world. This practice rewires your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters what you notice. You'll start seeing abundance everywhere instead of constantly focusing on what's missing. Fifth, and this is the big one, start taking actions that wealthy people take before you feel like a wealthy person. Wealthy people invest in themselves. They buy the course. They hire the coach. They invest in their health, their education, their growth. Now, I'm not saying go into debt doing this, but there's a difference between I can't afford that and strategically choosing where to place your resources. If there's something that could genuinely level up your skills or your life, find a way. Maybe you cut something else out. Maybe you save for a month. But take that action that says I'm worth investing in. That energetic shift is everything. Here's what I've seen happen when people actually implement this. Within weeks, not months, things start shifting. Maybe it's a surprise check in the mail. Maybe it's a client reaching out randomly. Maybe it's an idea that hits you that turns into a revenue stream. The universe responds to your energy. And when you shift from scarcity to abundance, it's like you've changed your address. Different things start showing up at your door. I'm living proof of this. There was a time when I was counting pennies, stressed about rent, operating completely from fear. And the more I focused on lack, the more lack I experienced. It wasn't until I started giving, even when it scared me, even when my logical mind said I was being irresponsible, that everything changed. I started tipping big. I started buying meals for friends. I started investing in my growth. And my income tripled within 6 months. Not because of some magic, but because I became a different person energetically. I showed up differently. I saw differently. I acted differently. So here's your call to action. I want you to commit right now to one thing from this video. Just one. Pick the step that resonates most and do it this week. And then come back and tell me what happened. Comment below with what you're committing to. Say I commit to giving generously, or I commit to receiving gracefully, or whatever your step is. There's power in public commitment. It makes it real. And listen, if this message resonated with you, if something in your soul said, yes, this is what I needed to hear, then subscribe to this channel, because we're building a community of people who understand that wealth isn't just about money. It's about embodying abundance in every area of life. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you might change. Remember, unlimited wealth is your birthright. It's not reserved for other people. It's not about being lucky or special. It's about aligning your internal world with the abundance that's already all around you. You've got this. Now go be abundant.